Ladies, whoever got that essay right had the best essay would have gotten Peruvian hair or Brazilian hair.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, and I'm still putting it out there. Whoever wants to sponsor that project too, I still want it on. Yeah.
Okay.
And so I got to Kesley Hayford. It was a Saturday. I was in my shorts and my blouse. Everybody was doing their own thing. I was like, oh, I'm here. You should listen to what I have to say. It's really interesting. So nobody was paying attention. I was like, okay, DJ, please give me Major Girl by Sarkodie and Shatawali.
Oh, okay.
Then I got to the court and I gave my own display. And I got everybody's attention.
When you say display, what did you do?
I just danced. I love to dance,
Okay.
and I love Sarkodie's song too. So I danced to it. Some of the guys even came to join me to dance. So at the end of the day, everybody paid attention to what I had to say. So they were even impressed, and they even invited me to be one of their judges for their Miss Casford.
Right.
Yeah, but I couldn't do that because I had like in an extreme episode, so I had to be out of school.
So again, this is something which, if you were fine yourself, you wouldn't have done?
Probably I'll get people to dance for me and I'll just be nodding my head at the back. Or I would have danced, but not that. You should see the video. I was too much energy. I was pushing any boy that came around to quote unquote grind me. There was a lot of force, like a lot of force. Like I watched the video later, I was like, wow, what if you danced and all these boys pounced on you? Like, what would you have done? Yeah, but luckily it didn't happen that way. I was just lucky.
So tell us about how this video came to be.
Okay, for the nude or semi-nude videos, those videos were recorded, in the comfort of my room with my girls. Some of them I recorded myself. We were just having fun. Yeah, we were just having fun, and I am into fitness a lot, so I take videos of myself to kind of trace my weight loss or something. Somebody might think other, but that's one of the reasons why I do that. So at that time, I used to have a lot of videos of myself. So when I hit the manic phase, that's one phase of bipolar. We have the depressive and manic. So I was doing a lot of things, but on the 17th of February, let's say almost the peak, because I did other worse things than just the video. Yeah, so around the hours of 1 a.m. I just had my MacBook and I just started posting the videos, private messages between me and some people. It was just weird. I was irritated for no reason. I was mad at the whole world. I was just doing crazy stuff on Facebook, and it wasn't just Facebook. On my campaign WhatsApp platforms, I put the videos there. Maybe a lecturer or somebody that I really respect so much, I send these videos to. So strangely enough, when I did that, like 3 a.m., I packed up my stuff. I'm like, I'm going to Accra. I'm not feeling well. I want to go to the hospital. And I got willing. I got to the house maybe around 7 a.m. So when I got home, I was like, if people should take me to the hospital. So we went to Tama Women's Hospital. They did some tests on me, and we were referred to Accra Psychiatric Hospital. And that's when I got to know I was diagnosed with bipolar disorder. Yeah.
Right. Now, throughout your life, you've never had such episodes?
Okay, back in Legon, I was a student of Legon University of Ghana. Yeah. And there's this thing, what you call it, medicine or suicide. I didn't really believe in that, but I couldn't make the cut. And it was a big toll on me because that was level 100, level 200. You have to do the normal stuff. So my friends that were close to me would tell you I was missing classes, I was behaving weirdly, it affected my relationship. I lost a very dear one too. Probably I didn't process that one too well. So at that time, I think I was in a depressive state because there were times I was at Pentagon at that time. I've never disclosed this to anyone, I think. I was at Pentagon at that time. I could wake up 12 a.m. With bipolar 2, you can't really sleep a lot. You sleep an hour. I'll wake up 12 a.m. and I'll find myself walking all the way to Commonwealth. From Pentagon to that place. I just walk. It's scary or whatever. Like, it's like in the morning before I realize that, oh, you put yourself through this danger because you walk from Pentagon to Commonwealth all the time. And there was, I had a friend who was, always encouraging me to do something. Like, I needed money to go to medical school in Ukraine. So there was this friend who came up with this idea, we can do some illegal stuff and do it. And I was always brushing it off. I was always advising him, don't do it.
What kind of illegal stuff?
I don't want to disclose that. So I just woke up one morning, like Tuesday morning. I remember, so it was a Tuesday morning. I called him. I gave him my stuff. Okay, I'm in. Then we did that on Thursday. And that got me into trouble. So I had to be expelled from, not expelled, okay. I had to be away from school for over 20 months or something. When I got back and I was okay to get back to school, I couldn't get back into UG. I had to reapply because I had stayed way longer than I should be away from school. So some people asked me, why did you leave Legon, blah, blah, blah. That was why I left Legon. Yeah, so when I spoke to a psychiatrist about it, they were just asking you questions to really know that, is it really, really bipolar or something? And, they ask you some questions and it probes, and you find out that, okay, at this time too, you were going through a phase, but you didn't know, so you didn't manage it properly. Yeah. So my friends in Legon will tell you, she started behaving weirdly, then all of a sudden she disappeared. And we saw her 2 years afterwards in a different school doing something else. And this thing also happened when, I think it happens when I'm stressed out or I'm overworking myself and or maybe I have an emotional, maybe I lose someone, I break up with someone and I don't process it well. It elevates stuff and one thing leads to the other, and because I'm not on medication, it can make me do some extreme stuff.
So you were diagnosed at the Accra
Psychiatric Hospital.
Tell us about educate us now on what you were told about your condition.
What I was told, okay.
What have you learned about
what have I learned? Okay. What I've learned is it's possible for me to have, everybody has down moments and, elated moments. But what I've learned is if I don't manage my condition, I can go to the two extremes. So I can be very excited and I can use it for positive work. You get so many ideas, you get creative. Even when this initiative came up, I was like, well, are you having one of your episodes? So this time around, I'm not doing everything by myself. Like, I have a team, my psychiatrist is involved, my psychology lecturer, my dean of students, my head of department. They are all people that I communicate with. So they all know my conditions and they are professionals who know a lot about it. So I talk to them and they give me the go-ahead, do this or do that. Even this morning, my psychiatrist was like, are you feeling too hyper? Should we give you some medication? And I was like, oh, I'm fine. I don't think I'm doing anything out of whatever I document the day before. I just go according to what I've documented.
You plan your day.
Yeah, I don't do more than I'm supposed to do. So
to summarize, being bipolar means that you tend to access the extremes of your emotions.
Extremes when it's not managed properly.
Okay. So you can either be extremely
or you be depressed. You even think of killing yourself and all that. Yeah, you think of killing yourself and all that.
Extremely high, extremely excited, totally confident, unnecessarily
high libido. Yeah. It has pros, but if you don't manage it, you can be very destructive because when you're really hyper, you're easily irritated. Like, I'll be having a conversation with you, you just say something that maybe I'm just supposed to laugh about it. Then I get angry and I can start breaking stuff. And when I go home, before I would go to Accra Psychiatry, I think I destroyed like 2 television sets in the house. And you would hit anyone that comes your way. When I was at Accra, I had about 4 security men had to, calm me down so that they could sedate me and all that. Yeah.
How long were you there for?
If my memory serves me right, maybe 2 to 3 weeks. I was sedated most of the time, so sometimes I lose track of time.
Yeah. So almost a month at the Accra Psychiatric Hospital.
Not a month. I had to leave Accra Psychiatric Hospital for Kolebu.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. What was that like, being in a psychiatric hospital?
It was scary. It was unbelievable. Cause like 2 days ago, I was in my room, with my nice bed. I could listen to any music that I want. My books. I had my friends. Then I wake up and I realize I'm in this dark, stinky room with scary people. Some people call up on you when you're sleeping.
You're joking.
I'm not kidding. You be sleeping, you wake up and there's somebody like on you, not even touching you or on you, and you're like, whoa, what is this? And sometimes some people just go. There was this lady, she was almost 6'4", huge woman. And I can go gaga, and so you can imagine her going gaga like triple effect. Everybody gets scared. Sometimes they have to lock her up in an inner room, and she makes a whole lot of noise, banging everything. And I was crazy. I don't know. I was, quote unquote, crazy at that time. I could beat up the nurses, tell them anything that I want to. You wouldn't get good food to eat. And in our psychiatric hospitals, it was just like bed and medication. When you wake up, there's nothing else to do. There are no occupational therapists there. So there's nothing to while away your time. You can't bring in any iPod, any laptop, because that could be a tool for you to harm someone too. So you don't get any form of, recreation. And we are overcrowded. So even if maybe a nurse could talk to you or play a game with you, there's no time to do that. But when I was much better and I became more cordial with the nurses over there, they are really nice people, and like they're working so hard and trying to do their best. Yeah, but the facilities are not there for them to really work efficiently as they're supposed to, and the environment is not conducive for the patients or whoever like that goes there. Yeah, that's in Accra Psychiatric Hospital. Kolebu's facility is much better. It could be improved. They don't have occupational therapists too, but they have the beds, sort of a living space that you could watch TV. There was this psychiatric nurse, Kevin, who used to play Ludo with me or maybe Owari, and he lost all the time anyway. So
maybe that was part of your treatment.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't. I kick ass in every game. Yeah.
Okay, so obviously your experience of our facilities for managing mental health conditions was not the best it could have been.
It wasn't the best. It wasn't the best.
In fact, what you
and even I think when you are affluent, you can have better facilities, but it shouldn't be so, because it should be for the masses and everybody should have access to it, because most of the time if you should have an episode, you're likely not to have your identification on you, so nobody will know that okay, you are honorable this or that, and they are going to put you in the mass population. Indeed. So the place has to be okay for everyone, not just the affluent or anything like that. Yeah.
What was happening with your family in the meantime? I mean, have you talked to them about how this affected them?
It was devastating. Like my mom was, I don't know. They were both strong, but it was a lot, because people were so quick to judge. Yeah.
What were people saying?
Like my mom, they would tell her, oh, want to tell Bani ye sheni or ye shebra or campus or to hasi or couscous or to school crown or bar shower, and those kind of things.
I'll translate that quickly for our listeners.
Oh, okay.
What you're saying.
Okay, I'm on campus and I'm what you call it. I'm flirting with men, practicing prostitution, and all that, and I'm on drugs, and it's gotten on. And even for the SRC election, some people went as far as to say that I went to see a spiritualist for winning powers, and I think I didn't meet up my quota, like my end of the the agreement, and things have gone bad. I owed a juju man, yeah. Like a lot was said. A lot was said, yeah. I don't know if it was ignorance, or it was just pure hate, or it was my opponents that, at least your opportunity, so we had to just try and destroy her before or anything like that, yeah.
So back to your family. I mean, this obviously wasn't pleasant for them, but
no.
How did they feel about one of their own having a mental disorder? How did they react to that?
It was sad. Maybe they would have to speak for themselves, but I don't want them to come on air. But it was sad because I'm my mom's first daughter. I just 2. So I've always been a smart girl. I went to Abri Girls. I was always taking prizes, elective math prizes and stuff. This is your daughter that you are always proud of. And, when it came to tertiary, late on, she couldn't, finish. Now she's in UCC, almost done, and this issue. What is really going on? So it was confusing, Just you go like, has she done something wrong? She was always talking to God, where has she gone wrong? And all this is happening. It was really heartbreaking. And some of the people, especially some of my church people, were not so supportive. They were really criticizing her. This woman had to cry all the time, and she was really broken. She was like, this I would want to see this in she, like in her own way. She was like, maybe my brain maybe pension or me, and I feel this what to me see, because it got to some time she had to feed me, bath me, simple coordination of brushing my teeth. I could not do that.
That's how bad it got.
Yes, because the medication, and when after a manic phase, you really go to, like, you go high and you drop very low. So after a serious manic episode, you have a really devastating depressive phase. So after I left Kolibo, I had to be at a retreat center, I think Grace Presby. They have a retreat center. Yeah. So I was there for a very long time. It was good, but sometimes it wasn't good because it got sometimes I have to interact with people, but I'm alone there, and it worsens my issue. Once in a while, I had some friends, Fritz and their friends, they'll come and take me out and drive in town a little bit without the knowledge of my mom. And it helps sometimes because, you were down all the time. And, I had some friends who would call me, Sister Alma, Charles, they all encouraged me. And some of them too that I thought were really my friends too, left me to the curb and, were, trashing me all the time. But it's all good. Like, I think this happened for a good. Me, I always see the positive in things. I hardly see negative stuff. People go like, oh, you're not being realistic, but that's just me. So I think it was a point in my life that I had to prune some people off. So it happened for those people to go by themselves, or just make me know that, okay, these are the real people and these are not for you.
That is a rather positive way of looking at it.
Yeah.
Let's talk about now. Okay. Now, you're still bipolar.
Yes.
But what does your new life look like now? I mean, you're back in school.
Yes.
What else? What's new now since you've come through the treatment process?
Yeah. So I'm still on medication. I do a little bit of psychotherapy. And now that I know all these things, I have to be proactive about my life. I have to be more careful about the things that I do. I try not to take a lot of alcohol. I do drink, but I try not to take a lot of alcohol because it can, the pharmacologist would tell you, alcohol will increase maybe your endorphins, the things, the dopamine and stuff that get you excited. Already you have a tendency for you getting excited, so you don't take too much of that. And even if you're on medication, I'm on carbamazepine, like it's gonna affect how the medication works and all that. So I try not to take a lot of alcohol. And whenever I feel I'm gonna be depressed or anything, I exercise a lot. So naturally, it will keep my, happy, like, what do you call it, chemicals, like, in balance. So I exercise a lot. I try to keep positive people around me. I have my 3 friends that I go to lectures with all the time. Ivan, Robert, and Aaron. Like, they're always around me. Whenever I'm not in class, they call to check up on me. So I surround myself with positive people. Like my dean of students, I don't know if he has spies on me or something. Anytime that I'm doing something weird, he just calls me to his office, Abena, I have spies on you. I've gotten some information, you are doing this and that and that. Is everything okay? My psychology lecturer too. My mom calls me every day. Sometimes I even find it annoying. She calls me every time. My dad, my dad is always encouraging me. Not for once did he ever condemn me. Not for once. My mom, and not for even once did they ever condemn me. Probably they did it before they knew I had a condition, but not to my face. They were always encouraging me, always, and now, like, I have to pray more. And because there was this aspect that, it was disclosed that there might be a little bit of spirituality involved because of the competition I was having. I don't want to believe that, so I had to, pray a lot more. When you commune, when you meditate, it also helps to calm you down. I do a little bit of yoga. I just try to relax a lot generally.
How about socially? I mean, you talked about how at its worst it made you have problems in relationships.
Yeah.
How are you now? Are you in a relationship?
Yes, I am. Yes, I am. We're working on it. We're taking one day at a time.
And he knows about all of this.
Yes. I had to educate the person about it. Yeah. Like, this is what can go on. This is what can happen. So be ever prepared for it,
Do you find that because of what happened and all of the sexual nature of some of the excesses that happened with the video and all that, do you find that unfortunately you're now attracting the wrong kind of male attention?
Oh, yes. Yeah, for some time I was getting a lot of messages. People want to star me in their porn videos. They want to sponsor my porn industry. I was like, I never had a porn business. People always even gave me some inferiority complex. Before getting into it. When a guy meets me up, it's like I have to explain I'm wondering, does this guy know that I have a naked video that almost everybody has on their phone? Is he gonna respect me? Am I even a woman again at all? Because I don't want to blow my own trumpet, but at least maybe my juniors in school from Ibri girls, most of them looked up to me. From before everything happened, they always tell me, oh, you're doing so well. My school daughter had a first class, and I was so proud. I go oh, my daughter, and she also gives me credit for that. So I thought I was a role model for a lot of people, and now I'm no longer that. And even once, I think I had an argument with someone sometime, and the person was like, oh, you think you're mad, I'm more crazier than you, some silly stuff like that. So I used to battle with a lot of inferiority complex, but I'm living above that now. All that is, behind me. I had to psych myself, so that I don't feel that is a weakness, or because some people were just there to go like, oh, well, this girl, now we have something against her. But it's not a flaw for me. It's not, a stumbling block for me, not at all. Like, if you're out there and you think you're gonna use that against me, right now is, my power sword, or my biggest stepping stone for everything that I ever wanted to do. I had, when I was away from Legon, I had this little notebook that I used to write my aspirations and everything inside, and it's like when I give it to you right now, you go like, oh, everything is going as planned, or everything is going as supposed. It's just that it's in a different light, because I wanted to do gynecology and have, a very huge facility for stuff like that, stuff relating to fertility and all those kind of things. And now this mental thing has come up, and I want to have a rehab community for stuff related to that. So even the gynecology thing will be a subset of it, because people get pregnant, they have children, and they have postpartum, depression. And all that. It was an initiative by the dean of students and seconded by me, because it's like when I got back into school, there was no support group, there was not really anything paramount to help me process myself back into school. And it took UCC by surprise, so they had to prepare for any incoming ones. So it's an initiative by the dean of students, Prof. Eja. And when he showed me the document, that he's posting on notice boards, I was like, Prof, it won't get the attention of the students. They will not even know where to come to. So let's take it on a different, at a different angle. And I was like, I'm going to do it. And he was like, oh, thumbs up, you can go ahead. So I just started, doing it on my Instagram page, and surprisingly, it just got a lot of interest, and I'm even overwhelmed by the attention that is gotten, because it was just supposed to be a school club or an initiative on campus. So Psychosocial Africa seeks to, first of all, educate people about mental disorders or other psychological related problems. Some people don't have mental disorders, but psychologically they don't fit in well in society because of some issues. So we want to educate people on all those things to help increase more fruitful relationships, more fruitful environments in the workplace and on campus, wherever it is. So that's, first of all, to educate people. Secondly, to create support groups for patients like me, their families, their co-workers, their colleagues. So support groups for that. Thirdly, to rejuvenate the psychiatric institutions. We might not be able to build new ones, but the ones that are existing, it's not just left to the government. Abraham Lincoln said, the government are the people, by the people, blah, 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 that quote. So it's not just left to the government. Individuals who are, nowadays, there's so many strings of restaurants and nightclubs. And, we go over there to get high and do all sorts of stuff. And if things go wrong, you might need to go to a psychiatric institution. And you get there and there's nothing, not even 1% of what you came from either the restaurant or the club. So it's open to real estate, companies, businesses. You people can just take it as your charity projects to giving back to society. Just, rejuvenate the psychiatric institutions, their supplies, the conditions and the wards and all that. And lastly, this is a 5 to 10 year project. I have a friend, a colleague, architect working on it, Dennis Glover. He's working on it. We want to have a rehab community, something that has a combination of maybe Holy Trinity Spa, Kolebu, or like gym inclusive, something that you can just go there and be mentally, emotionally, physically whole. They have that like in other countries, and we don't have that over here. So it's a 5 to 10 year goal we want to achieve, and we've started working on the architectural plan. Yeah.
My opinion is this is the most impressive thing about you, to have gone through such a negative experience and somehow found a way of turning it into a positive, not just for yourself, but for others.
Yeah.
We want to know how we can contribute. So, Facebook and Instagram?
Yes, please.
Okay, and when we go, what are we looking for?
Okay, for now, since we didn't really project this much support, we are very grateful for it. We're very thankful, all those who have called in to inquire, who are offering support already. We thank them. But the first, step of action was we have T-shirts that we have positive messages about mental disorders on it. Yeah, we have I may be mentally unstable, but I'm one of your own. I have a mental disorder, but I'm not a disorder. Then we have one for girl empowerment. I'm a female and something happened to me and I was discouraged a lot by the masses. So by God, glory be to God, I'm back on my feet. And the message is this girl can, if given a chance. So it's to all the females out there. You can buy one for your daughter, your sister-in-law, your wife-to-be. Just a way of encouraging her that, the life's ups and downs in life, maybe you might be having a very rosy right now, but I'm just giving you this T-shirt to let you know that whenever you go wrong, you always have a second chance. You should personally give yourself a second chance, and the people around you should give you a second chance to make it, because everything is possible for you. So these T-shirts are going out for 60 cedis